In this video, we will talk about three important database techniques: first normal form, second normal form, and third normal form. So in order to understand this subject in a better manner, right, what I've done is, you can see that I've created a very simple database here called as university. And inside the university, you can see that I've created a very simple table here called as TBL school. Now in this table, we have some approximately 7 fields you can see. The first field says that this student belongs to which standard. The second column says what is the roll number of the student. The third column says that what is the first name, last name, and the surname of the student. What kind of syllabus the student has taken. How much marks he has acquired till now. And the total number of subjects across which these marks were acquired. And finally the average. Average of the marks the student has got across all subject. So you can see we have a very simple table here called as TBL school with all these columns. Now this table is pretty decent. It is nice. You can see. It helps me to store the name of the student. It helps me to store how many marks he has, roll numbers, and lots of other things. So it does its job well. But there are a couple of problems. Let me start with problem number 1. Okay, now let me start with the first problem. Now if I tell you go and find the student name whose last name is Koirala. So what you'll say, okay, very easy, from university TBL school, where people who are new to SQL, you can just excuse yourself for now, but you can just see what I'm doing, where student name like percentage Koirala. Easy. There you are. Happy? Now I'm a greedy person and I increase my demands. I tell you, okay, how about go and find people with Koirala. Okay, that's good. But also go and ensure that you don't have any Hari Singh. So in other words, I would like to just go and find this person with name Khadak Koirala, and the other two fields or other two rows, that is Shivprasad Hari Singh Koirala and Raju Hari Singh Koirala, should be excluded. Now how do I do that? Tough, right? Now can you guess why we are into this situation? Why have we landed into this situation? Give a pause, think about it. Why? Now the problem here is not that you cannot write the SQL query. You can write the SQL query, you can do some search and do str and a lot of other functions. You can use string functions and you can do that, but then the SQL query will become complex. It will become slower also, right? The main problem or the main root of the problem here is the database design. If you watch the student name field very closely, you can see that all the data is pushed into only one column. The first name, the last name, the surname. So now the select query is finding it very difficult to segregate those columns, break into pieces and do a search on that. So a better approach here would be to break that student name into 3 more fields. If we can segregate that student name into 3 more fields like first name, last name and surname, then our search can be faster and it can be simpler. So if I go and modify this design, so let me go and close this. So if I go and do something like this, so let me just go and create take this script and just put it over here. Okay, and let me go and say TBL school 1. Okay, so this is, we're just improving the design here. So rather than putting a student name like this, right, just only one field, if I can do something like that, I can say, okay, you're going to have first name, Control C, you're going to have surname, sorry, I'll say middle name, and surname. Alright. If I modify my table design like this, let me just go and show you my table design, the newly created table design. So I've named, the first one was TBL school. This one, this improvised design, I have called it as TBL school 1. So now if I go and open this, you can see now it is much better. Let me just go and open it in a edit mode. Go and open this in a edit mode. So now you can see now things are much better here. So if I can say something like this, like 5th standard, okay, roll number 1, name, first name Shiv, then Hari Singh, then Koirala, syllabus is, let's say, physics, maths, total marks 100, 10, and let's say average 10. In the same way I can go and fill the second record. So again, let's say I'll take 5th standard, or I'll say 6th standard, let's say. So if it's a 6th standard, roll number 1, Raju. Okay, let's say I'll say here, there is no surname for now. Okay, and just say Quirala, physics, biology, right? 100, 5, and average is 20. Okay, so you can see now, now this is much better, right? So if I want to go and do a search, right, it's easy now. So I can just say, okay, go and fetch me. If I want to go and say, okay, go and fetch me surnames, where it is Koirala and the middle name is not Hari Singh. So the way I'll do it is, I'll just go and write a very simple query here. So I can say select star from TBL school 1, okay, where surname is equal to Koirala and middle name is not equal to Hari Singh, right? So great. Now you can see how simpler our query has become, as compared to the first one, where we were thinking about going and parsing something and etc. So in other words, if you divide your data into logical pieces, your query can be simpler, your database design is much better, and you can have a better control over your data. Now this dividing the data into logical pieces is nothing but the first rule of first normal form. Now there are two rules to the first normal form. So we are discussing about the first rule. We'll talk about the second rule in the later part of the video. So the first rule of the first normal form says that break your data into granular level, into logical granular level, so that you can do better data management, you can do better search query. So for example, we broke the student name into first name, into middle name, and into last name. Now, also this division or this breaking of the data should be done in an appropriate manner. Okay, in other words, it should be logical. For example, it is very much possible that fields like phone numbers, even though it has three logical pieces like region code, area code, and phone number, probably there is no point to decompose it further and create three fields. Why? Because it's very rarely that you will go and operate on those three fields. So the first rule of first normal form says that break your data into more granular level, into logical granular level, so that you can handle the data in a better way, you can make your select queries much simpler, and you can improve also your performance, right? Now there is a second rule also for the first normal form. Let's discuss about that. Now before we discuss about that, let's first talk about the problem, and then we will apply the rule of the first normal form. Now in order to understand the problem well, you can see over here in the TBL school table, what we have done is we have entered one more record here, called as Mr. Sham, and we have entered the standard as 5th standard, FIFTH, 5th standard, okay, as compared to Shiv, who is 5th standard but with a number. Okay, now let's say that we want to go and fire a SQL query, and we would like to get students who are studying in 5th standard. So what you will do is, so let's go to the query analyzer. So let me just close this, and let me go to query analyzer. So what you will do is, you'll go and say select star from TBL school, and you'll write all the fields, and you will say where 5th standard. Okay, now there is a problem here. You can see that I did a search using 5th standard, that is with the number 5th, 5th, okay, and I'm not able to find Mr. Sham here. I'm only able to find Mr. Shiv here. Now that's bad, right? Okay, in other words, when I say 5th standard, I should be able to find both of them, right? But the problem is with the data, the way the data was entered. Okay, it was not standardized, right? So that was a problem. That is one problem. And the second problem is the values are also getting duplicated. So duplicate values here means, basically if you see this 5th standard and 5th standard, they are occurring again and again. In other words, basically this complete data is getting duplicated. So how do we avoid this? This can be avoided, by applying the second rule of first normal form, that is avoid repeating groups and repeating data. In other words, if we are able to move this standards, what you call values, to a different master table called as TBL standards or something, and then refer it via key, then we can avoid this problem. So in order to solve this problem, this duplicate data problem, we have to apply the second rule of first normal form, that is avoid repeating data and repeating groups. In other words, what we have to do is we have to go and create a separate table here called as TBL standards. So let's go ahead and create a simple standards table here. So you can see that I'm creating a standards table here. So let's put standard ID. The next thing we can put is a description for the standard. So standard name, right? And let's save this. And let's give a nice name to this, TBL underscore standard. And okay. Right, now what we can really do is, we can move that complete data into this TBL standards table here. So, rather than writing fifth standard again and again and, sixth standard again and again, we can put the standards data over here. And the good point here is now that because we are moving it to a centralized table, we can also avoid the data entry problem. If you remember, right, one is there is a duplicate data, and the other big problem is basically non-standardized data, right? So you can see, like, because we have moved it to a central table here, now we can have only one kind of description. For example, here the description is fifth standard with the numeric 5, right? So now that we have created the masters table, now the next thing is we'll get rid of the standards standard field from the TBL school. So there it is. And what we'll do is we'll go and insert here a standard ID, which is an integer field, and this field will be the foreign key, and the primary key will come from the master table which we have recently created. Okay, so this field will become the foreign key, and the primary key will come from the TBL underscore standard table. So let's go ahead and create a database diagram, and using the database diagram we will create the relationships. So you can see that I have added both the tables here. Now let me go and drag and drop this standard ID over here to create a relationship. Oops, we need to ensure that this is a primary key, or else we can't go and create a relationship. Right now you can see that I have created a foreign key relationship here with the TBL standard table. So you can see the TBL standard table is a primary key table with a standard ID, and it has the description, that is fifth standard, sixth standard, and from there we are now linking this key to our foreign key field standard ID into TBL school 1. So now what will happen is we are going to refer only the numeric values and not the actual string. So with that both the problems are avoided now. One is the duplicate data, and the other one is any kind of non-uniform data. Great. So let me just go and do OK here. Okay, and let me go and save this. Great. So there the relationship has got saved. That's good. So now the relationships have been created. Now let's go ahead and do some data entry. So let me just go and edit the school table here, and I'll say that okay, Shiv is in fifth standard, Raju is in sixth standard. So if you remember, right, 1 stands for fifth standard and 2 stands for sixth standard in the TBL standard table. Okay, so you can see now I am putting the references here, rather than actually going and typing fifth standard or sixth standard, right? So the duplicate data is removed, as well as now confusions are avoided in case there is a wrong data entry. So just to very quickly show you how it looks like with actual data, so what I'll do is let me make an inner join with the TBL standard table to show you actually how the linkages are looking like. So let me just go and write a new query here. You can see I've written a simple query here which actually joins the TBL standard table with the TBL school using the standard ID. And now if I go and do a execute, you can see that Shiv belongs to fifth standard, Raju belongs to sixth standard, and Shyam belongs to fifth standard, and no duplication of data. The fifth standard, sixth standard, everything is stored into standards table, and only the references are available in the TBL school table. So this is nothing but the second rule of first normal form, that avoid any kind of repeating data or repeating groups by moving it to master tables like the standard tables we have just seen. So there are two big rules of first normal form. The first one is that break your data into smaller and logical units, and second one is any kind of repeating data or repeating groups, try to move them into a master table and then try to give linkages, rather than actually putting the data in the main table. Now let me go to my database back, and let me go and add one more record here. I'm going to add a student name as Khadak, whose roll number is 1 and whose standard is 5th standard, that is 1. Okay, so let me try to see if I can add this. So I've entered all records, and you can see that I'm able to add it. Now actually, if you see, watch very closely, I shouldn't be allowed to add this data, because in one standard, we cannot have the same roll numbers. You can see that Shiv has roll number 1 in 5th standard, as well as Khadak has roll number 1 in 5th standard. Now that is something which cannot be allowed to happen, right? So in other words, we have to go and avoid, duplicate entries, for students, with the same standard ID and with the same roll number, right? So in other words, we have to go and create a joint primary key on standard ID and roll number, to avoid, such kind of data entry mistakes. So what I will do is, quickly I will go and close this TBL School 1 table here, and I will go to the design of TBL School 1 table, and I will go and create, primary keys, a joint primary key on both these fields, that is standard ID and on the roll number. Okay, so let me go to my design here, and I will go and select both these fields. You can see that I have selected both these fields, standard ID and roll number. Now let me go and right click on these fields, and you can see that I have created a joint primary key. So with doing so, what will happen now is, if I go and try to add what you call a person with with the same roll number in the same standard, you can see that I can see a nice error over here, and that error is absolutely fine. Okay, so this is good. So our database is getting more matured, and it is also maintaining the integrity of the data. All right, now let's talk about other problem which has arisen when we created this primary key. Now in order to understand the second problem, let's do a simple select on this TBL school table here. Now if you watch the TBL school data very closely, you can see that this syllabus field, right? Now you can see the syllabus field here, right? This syllabus field is more related to a standard. In other words, a 5th standard has a syllabus, 6th standard has a syllabus, right? But a student doesn't have a specific syllabus. So Shiv will not have a specific syllabus, or Sham as a student will not have a specific syllabus, right? Syllabus is more related to the standard on which the student is studying, rather than directly to the student. In other words, now currently our primary key is built of standard ID and roll number. So this syllabus field is dependent more on standard and not on the roll number. The roll number belongs to a student, right? So as I said, syllabus is not connected with students directly. Definitely there is a relation of the syllabus, but it is not direct relationship. In other words, this syllabus field is depend partially on the full primary key. It is dependent on standard ID, but it is not dependent on roll number, right? And that is bad. In other words, tomorrow if we say that, okay, now the 5th standard syllabus will have an extra subject as geography, if we have to go and update Shiv as well as Raju, and we have to go and add geography in their syllabus field there, so we have to update all the students, which is again bad, right? So in other words, because this field is not related directly with the student, probably this field has to be moved out from here, and it has to be shifted to some different table, because this field is partially relying on the primary key and not fully. It is relying on standard ID, but it is not relying on the roll number, right? So this problem of a column depending partially on a primary key is solved by using second normal form. So how do we solve it? Now in order to implement the second normal form, what we have to first do is, we have to get rid of that syllabus field from the main table. Now in order to get rid of that syllabus field from the main table, we have created a separate master table called a syllabus table. So you can see on your screen, we have a separate table called a syllabus table, and this syllabus table has two records currently, 5th standard syllabus and the 6th standard syllabus, that is 5th syllabus and 6th syllabus. Now every syllabus has subject, so for that we have created a subject table. You can see a subject master table which has 3 records currently, physics, maths and history. And one syllabus will have multiple subjects, right? So for that we have created an intermediate table in table there, which actually connects the syllabus table with the subject table and creates that one-to-many relationship. One-to-many relationship means one syllabus has multiple subjects. and this syllabus is now linked with the standard master table. So if you remember, right, we had created a master table for standards, right? So this syllabus table is linked with the master table. Now currently I have not shown the foreign key over there, but actually the standard and the syllabus table is linked with the foreign key. So it is not shown in the image, but when we actually go and create these tables, right, we'll actually link them by using the foreign keys. And then the standard table entry is already there in the main table by the standard ID. So in this way, we have got rid of that syllabus field from the main table, and we have ensured that we have applied second normal form. So second normal form says that any field in a table has to depend on the full primary key and not partially, right? It should not depend partially. So if you remember, right, as we said previously, that the syllabus actually depends on the standard and not on the student or the roll number, right? So in this way we have applied second normal form, and we have ensured that the syllabus field is not part of the main table. So let's start implementing second normal form. So let's first go ahead and create the syllabus table. So you can see that I am going and creating the syllabus table. So first thing is, let's go ahead and create a simple syllabus ID field with a description, and we'll just keep this field length as nvarchar of 50, and we have created the TBL underscore syllabus table. Now the next table which we will create is the subject table. So let's go ahead and create two fields here, subject ID and description, and this table we will name it as TBL underscore subjects. Right now we also have to create that intermediate table which will establish the one-to-many relationship between the syllabus and the subject table, right? So let's go ahead and create a simple table which will have syllabus ID and the subject ID, and this table will actually go and define that one-to-many relationship. So what we'll do is we'll give this table name as TBL underscore syllabus subject. Great. So now that we have all the three tables, now what we'll do is, let's go to the database diagram. Let's go ahead and create a new database diagram, and let's go ahead and add all these new tables which we have created. So that is TBL syllabus subjects, TBL syllabus subjects, as well as TBL syllabus subjects. So there we are. So now that we have created all the three tables, now it's time to go and define primary keys in all these tables, because without the primary keys we won't be able to go and define relationships, right? So you can see that I have created primary keys in all the tables now, and and you can see that I have created primary key in the TBL subjects table. I have created primary key in the TBL syllabus table. You can see that I have created the primary key in the TBL underscore syllabus subject table, which will join both the tables. Great. Now the next thing what we have to do is in the TBL standard table we have to go and add one more field which will link the TBL standard table with the TBL syllabus table, right? Remember that we have deleted the syllabus from the TBL school 1 table, that is the main table. So there should be some linkage between the TBL standard table and the TBL syllabus table, or else things will not work. So so now that we have created the primary keys in all the three tables, now the next thing is we have to go and insert one more field in the TBL underscore standard table called as syllabus ID, and link that syllabus ID with the TBL underscore syllabus master table. Great. So now let's go to the design of the TBL underscore standard table, and let's add syllabus ID there with the data type int. Great. And now what we'll do is, let's go to the design again, back to the database design, and let's make a relationship between the TBL syllabus and the TBL underscore standard table. So in other words, the TBL underscore syllabus table will be the primary key table, and the TBL underscore standard table with the foreign key table. So you can see the TBL underscore syllabus table, the syllabus ID is the primary key, and then the foreign key is with the TBL underscore standard table. Great. So this relationship is established here. Nice. So let me just go and save this. Now there are a couple of other relationships also which we need to establish. The one important relationship is the TBL syllabus with the TBL subject, right? So for that, what we have to do is, we have to first connect the TBL syllabus table with the TBL syllabus subject table, and then the TBL subject table with the TBL syllabus table. So this TBL underscore syllabus subject table is the main connector between TBL syllabus and the TBL subjects table, right? So let's start with the first step. Let's go ahead and connect the TBL underscore syllabus ID with the syllabus ID of TBL syllabus subject table. Done. And the subject ID over here. Done. Great. So there we are. You can I'll just go and save this, right? Just save this. Great. Now you can see that we are almost done with the second normal form. So you can see that we have got rid of that syllabus field from the TBL school 1 table, and you can see that now it is only linked via the TBL standard table. Okay, and the TBL standard table knows that which syllabus he has or he belongs to, which he has to contain, and the TBL syllabus knows, via the TBL underscore syllabus subject table, which subjects he has. So in this way, we have implemented second normal form. So again, I'm just revising what second normal form says. Second normal form says that any column in a table, right, should depend fully on the primary key and not partially. So if you remember, the syllabus field was depending only on the standard ID field and not on the roll number. So we have implemented second normal form, by creating a different table, different sets of tables, and we have got rid of that syllabus field, from the TBL school 1 table. Great. So now that we have implemented the second normal form, let's go ahead and start filling some data into these tables, and let's see how the structure is actually coming up. So you can see the first thing, let's go ahead and enter some subjects here. So I'm going to say 1 for physics, 2 for maths. So maths, I'll say 3 for science, and history, so 4 for history. Great. Now let's go ahead and also go and make some entries into the TBL underscore syllabus table. So we'll create syllabus for 2 standards. One is a 5th standard and the other one is a 6th standard. So let's go ahead and make some entries here. 1 for 5th standard, 5th syllabus, and the second is for 6th syllabus. Great. So you can see that now we have entered both the syllabus as well as the subjects. Now it is time, we go ahead and make entries into the TBL syllabus subject table. If you remember, right, the TBL syllabus subject table actually connects both these tables and creates the one-to-many relationship. So let's go ahead and start filling the table which integrates both these tables. Let's go ahead and fill this syllabus subject table. So what we'll first do is, let's take the 5th standard syllabus. So you can see now the 5th syllabus is represented in the syllabus table by the syllabus ID 1. So let's go back here and say 1, and from the subjects, we can add for 5th standard first physics. So you can see now physics is denoted by value 1. So let's go here and say 1 and 1, right? So what it means here is now is that, okay, for the 5th standard syllabus, the first subject we have added is physics. Great. In the same way, let's take the other one. So we can take maths must be. So you can see maths is now denoted by value 2. So let me again go back to my TBL syllabus subject table and add 2 over here. Great. So in other words, what we have done is, for the 5th standard syllabus, we have added maths as well as physics. Great. Now let's go ahead and add some entries for 6th standard syllabus. So we can say, okay, for 6th standard syllabus we'll say 2 and 3. Now 3 stands for science. Great. And in the same way we can add history, where 4 stands for history, right? So you can see now we have gone ahead and we have made some entries into the TBL syllabus subject table. Now let's go ahead and make an inner join to see that if the data which is entered is proper or not. So I'm going to go and make an inner join with the TBL subjects as well as the syllabus table. What I'll do is, let's go ahead and select some appropriate fields, so that we don't see too many fields in our query. So I'm going to select description and subject, description of the subject as well as the description of the syllabus, and let me just go and fire the query. Now you can see that we can see that the 5th standard syllabus is having physics as well as maths, and the 6th standard syllabus is having science as well as history. Great. So in other words, our TBL syllabus subject table is filled. Now the next thing is, let's go ahead and go make some entries into the TBL school 1 table, that is a main table, and let's try to make an inner join to see that how this second normal form has shaped up the complete data. So in order to see the full action of second normal form, I am going and adding I'm making an inner join of the school table with the standard table with the syllabus table, and the syllabus table with the subject table. So you can see now how the full thing has shaped up. And if you go and fire the SQL, right, you can see that for fifth syllabus I can see physics, maths. Also I can see for the sixth standard I can see the science and history. So you can now see that the TBL school table does not have any reference of the syllabus field. It is connected via the standards table, and that makes sense. Why? Because the syllabus does not depend on individual students, or it does not belong to a student, but it more belongs to the standard, and students belong to standards and syllabus belongs to standards. So you can see that basically how we have applied the second normal form, and later the syllabus is further broken down by using the TBL subjects table to define subjects for each of the syllabus. Right. So in other words, a second normal form, again I'm repeating, says that a field should depend completely on the primary key and not partially. Right. Now that we have done second normal form and first normal form, now you can see if you see over here, right, one of the fields what we have is the average field. Now this average field depends on the calculation it uses, or this average field is calculated by using total marks and total subject field. In other words, it's a calculative field, it's a fact field. Okay, now let's talk about third normal form. The third normal form says that you don't need to have any kind of calculative fields or fields which depends on other fields. For example, if I want to get average, right, programmatically in my program I can always divide the total marks by total subject and get it. So in other words, the average field is more of a redundant field or a duplicate field. So if you want to implement third normal form, we have to get rid of that average field, right? So let's implement the third normal form. So let's go back again to our table design. So let me just open the TBL school 1 table. Let me go to the design here and let me get rid of the average field. So I can just go and delete this column. I don't need it. If anybody wants to ever calculate the average of a student, he can just divide the total marks by the subjects and he will get it. Right. So you can see that we have now implemented the third normal form, and you can see that the average field is no more existing in the TBL school table, right? So in this way you can see that how we started with a very basic TBL school table, and then we applied first normal form, we applied second normal form, and then finally we have applied the third normal form to make this table structure much better. So let's do a quick revision of whatever we have learned in this 30 minutes video. So let's just summarize important points what we have learned in this 30 minutes video. So the first normal form says that break your data in granular pieces, logical pieces, and there's one more rule which is there in first normal form: remove duplicate data. So there are two rules in first normal form. First is remove duplicate data, and second is break data at granular level or in logical level. Okay. The second normal form says that any column in a table should depend on the full primary key and not partial. So if you remember, right, our syllabus field, right, which was there in the students table was dependent on the standard, but not actually on the student, on the roll number, right? So if you remember, right, how we moved the syllabus field to a different table and then we managed things over there. And the third normal form says that we should not have any kind of calculative field. In other words, no column should depend on other columns. So in this way, by applying normalization, in this video we saw that how we can make our table design much better, how we can avoid redundant data, and how we can improve the complete design quality of our tables. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. In this video we saw that how we can implement first normal form, second normal form, and third normal form in SQL Server. Thank you very much.